In Shenzhen, a taxi navigating a busy intersection and executing a complex U-turn does so without a human driver. This is a common reality in a city where technology often moves faster than the legacy industries of the West. The speed of this transformation is reflected in the skyline. In 1980, this was a small fishing village of 30,000 people. Today, it is a cosmopolitan tech hub of 18 million that has surpassed New York in the number of skyscrapers over 200 meters tall. As Europe remained focused on combustion engines, China captured the lead in the electric vehicle market. To meet its own green energy goals, the continent is now in the position of buying its future transportation infrastructure from Chinese assembly lines. This dependence is anchored by rare earth minerals, materials like cerium oxide and neodymium. These are the lifeblood of modern industry, and Europe currently relies on China to extract or process the vast majority of its supply. This creates a massive industrial risk. If a geopolitical flashpoint, like a blockade of Taiwan, were to occur, the supply chain for these minerals would likely break, causing European production lines to stop almost immediately. This trade partnership has evolved into a structural vulnerability. By outsourcing the physical and technological foundations of its economy, Europe has granted Beijing significant leverage over its industrial survival. Strategic dependence reaches into the digital hardware that routes information across the continent. When European nations import core networking equipment, they are also importing the systems that manage their most sensitive data. Huawei exemplifies this global integration. At its massive research campus in China, the company built life-sized replicas of European landmarks, a physical monument to its ambition to become a permanent, indispensable part of Western infrastructure. In 2021, hackers breached the servers of the Wetzel Geodata Observatory in the Bavarian forest. This facility provides precise coordinates for air traffic control. By compromising this gateway, attackers gained a path into the broader network used by German federal agencies. Cyber defense monitors noted a shift in these attacks. Targets moved from traditional industrial espionage toward the institutions, political parties, and foundations that form the backbone of German governance. European commissioners now argue that including hardware from a state-linked company in a core 5G network is an unacceptable risk. They maintain that as long as a supplier is subject to an autocratic government, the privacy of civilian communication cannot be guaranteed. To counter this, the US and the EU implemented strict measures, including sanctions on tech companies and high tariffs designed to block the import of subsidized Chinese electric vehicles. China responded with a loophole strategy. Instead of shipping finished cars across the border, they began moving the factories themselves directly into the European Union to bypass the new trade barriers. Hungary is the gateway for this move. While others hesitate, Budapest welcomes billions in Chinese investment. This includes a massive CAT-AL battery plant in Debrecen and a BYD factory in Szeged, allowing Chinese companies to bypass tariffs and build directly within the EU market. These construction sites often operate with extreme privacy. Projects like the Budapest-Belgrade Railway rely on imported Chinese labor and closed-off container villages, creating industrial enclaves that function independently from the local economy. Through these investments, Beijing has established a physical bridgehead. By embedding its industry directly into Hungary, it has effectively neutralized the trade defenses the rest of the European Union spent years trying to build. The paradox for Europe is that it has tied its technological transition to an economy currently straining under its own internal pressures. This chart shows the scale of the problem. When you combine corporate, consumer, and local government borrowing, China's total debt is now estimated at more than 300% of its entire economic output. This is visible in the domestic landscape, where over-leveraged real estate projects are being demolished before they are even finished. This financial strain is worsened by a shrinking workforce and a reliance on imported food to feed its population. Analysts suggest that a declining superpower can be more dangerous than a rising one. Historically, when a state faces deep economic and demographic crises, it may be more likely to use military aggression to distract from domestic failures. We are already seeing an expansion of this power. China is rapidly building its naval strength and projects its nuclear arsenal will reach 1,000 warheads by 2030, all while serving as a critical supporter of Russia's war efforts. Europe's reliance on a system with fundamentally different values creates a persistent friction with its own democratic standards. The vulnerabilities in Hungary and the geodata breaches in Germany suggests that true autonomy may require a difficult decoupling from autocratic supply chains.